giveaway online at les.com/report.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Get ready for spring by joining an evidence-based program to improve your health and well-being. These programs use proven strategies to help you make lasting changes, whether it's boosting nutrition, increasing activity, managing stress, or enhancing wellness. Invest in yourself today and feel your best this spring and beyond. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Spring is the time of new beginnings and trying new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For parties for St. Patrick's Day and Easter or celebrating the NCAA tournament with friends, there's no better dip to bring everyone together and celebrate something from Nebraska. Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome inside Liquid Assets, Lincoln's newest sports bar and your new go-to for everything you want to watch, anything you want to drink, and anything you want to eat. This is On the Block. Austin Norman and Jay Foreman with you. Eastrick is on the road. We would love it if you would come hang out with us here for the next few hours down at 27th and Jamie Lane. It is a fantastic day. We have Major League Baseball opening day. I am staring straight ahead at that. Got Joel Goldberg and Jonathan India on the TV in front of me. We'll talk plenty of Royals throughout the course of today's show. Of course, Sweet 16 later tonight. First game will be about 6 o'clock. They have one of the best menus in Lincoln down here at Liquid Assets. Excited to hear more about it in their own words coming up here on today's show. Let's bring him in, Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman. Jay, some people say it's just Thursday, but that's not us. This is an incredible day. I know you're a closet baseball guy, but you're a basketball guy. Spring practice is in full effect. You want it, you got it in sports. You want it, you got it here at Liquid Assets.
I look at opening day like the first time I went to a NASCAR race, man. I think it's the first couple laps are all
Charlotte?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
had to be.
The excitement of it is the first, when they start get going. So I do like baseball. I mean, I really do. And obviously to go with the Sweet 16. It's one of the best days of the year. Obviously, when the NFL season kicks off and college football is right up there as well. But, the start of the MLB season is essentially like a national holiday. So, and then also,
it should be. I'm on board. The opening day needs to be a national holiday. Give kids a day off.
Right.
Let them go to their local game. Come on.
Yeah. If you want, get some good, get in the good graces of majority of America, everybody loves a day off, and especially watching baseball.
The holidays that we need, the president that will get like 75% or higher approval rating will be the next president who says Major League Baseball opening day and the Monday after the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
those are automatic holidays.
Well, I'm putting my hat in the ring. I'm doing those two,
I'll vote for you.
and 2-3 day weekends a month.
Ooh.
How about that?
Are we doing first and third, second and fourth?
It's
first
going to be
fifth?
It's going to be a coin flip.
You just never know when it's coming. You just got to stay ready.
When people are stressed out, man, take a Monday off, man. Have a 3-day weekend. Matter of fact, and then if I'm really feeling jiggy with it, I'll give you a 4-day weekend. We'll be all right. We'll recover.
So you're a Saturday, Sunday, Monday off guy, not a Friday, Saturday, Sunday guy?
Well, it depends on what happens on Saturday. Depends.
Nebraska plays well. Monday's off to celebrate.
Yeah, because we're going to be celebrating Sunday as well. Or if there's a good Sunday night football game, you want that day off. So it kind of depends. That's why we got to rotate. We got Big Ten football games on Friday, so if Nebraska's playing, I want people to be able to travel.
When will President Foreman let people know if it's a 3-day weekend or not? Is that a Thursday decision or is that a Friday decision?
We're going to say everybody's going to be well planned. That we would have at the beginning of the year. It'll be based on the football season and schedules. As long as that doesn't change or there's a big weather mishap, everybody will know when they can when they plan their vacations. And then I'm going to also just surprise people. You know how you do the schedule review or schedule review? I'm going to throw in a Thursday off of there, especially if Nebraska's got a big road game. Then, it's the 4-day weekend. Because 3-day weekend is just what I'm going to be known for. 4-day weekend is when I'm giving you an extra little care package.
3's the baseline.
Yeah.
4 is the, hey, here's something special.
And I'm going to say, look, as long as we're working, we're going to work hard. But then after that, we need 3 or 4-day weekends.
Well, it gives you more time to focus on business is what it does, right? If you know going in that you got 4 days, you get your business handled in 4 days, then you get 3. Also, Stephen Kwan is a wimp. Come on, man. You're bunting to open the season. Like, I know you can't actually swing the bat, but that's ridiculous. So,
man, whoever that dude is with number 6 right there for the
Jonathan India, newly acquired player.
That hair, what is that called? The flow?
That's the flow.
That thing is
got a nice head of lettuce.
Yeah, he's got that thing wet, man. He's like Deion Sanders with his Jerry curl back in the day. Tried to say it was natural. He's got this nice little. He got some spray in there. It's looking good.
That brings Jose Ramirez to the plate. Jose Ramirez hit one of the longest home runs I've ever seen in person last year when my wife and I went to a couple games. We were sitting just behind the Royals bullpen. He bombed one like 10, 15 rows.
Yeah.
Over our heads. It's kind of funny, Jay. He was asked during spring training, this is the time where you're in the best shape of your life, right? We're hearing that from Dylan Raiola. But Jose Ramirez was talking. He says he's the same weight, but he cut down on fat and added that all back in muscle.
Yeah, right.
That's what he says.
Yeah,
that's what he says.
Well, sometimes you got to lie to yourself as an athlete, and sometimes when you look in the mirror, I tell myself I don't have any gray hair. See, you might think I have gray hair, Austin. I don't have any.
I would not. No.
Yeah. I mean, good for him. I think, I grew up as obviously, my family and myself pretty close with Kirby Puckett, but and a lot of those Twins players lived in the same kind of townhouse. We kind of all lived, in the same area. And then when I moved there and became friends with a lot of them, was before he fell off the back of the wagon, was really close with Chuck Knobloch. And then Dan Gladden was always a great friend.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing about it is Kent Herbeck, right? So back when they played, they would go and not do anything in the offseason and use spring training to get in shape. I mean, Kent Herbeck could hit. The only position he could play is first base or designated beer drinker. And he didn't. I mean, he was actually a sneaky good athlete, but it was all predicated on his weight. But now these guys are, training year round, and some of them get to play in some, like the Latin leagues and all that. But, look, for anybody that wants to try to extend their career out, you want to come in the best shape possible.
I don't know if this is a true quote or if it's apocryphal, but I have some recollection of a Dave Winfield quote saying, it always took him a while to get out of basketball shape into baseball shape.
Yeah, well, Dave Winfield, everybody talks about Deion and Bo Jackson, obviously, are legendary.
Dave Winfield's the truth, man.
Dave Winfield might be the best athlete of all time.
Just pure, uncut athlete.
Well, he played basketball, he played baseball, could have played football, all at a Division I level. Now, same with those, those two and Frank Thomas and all those guys, but Dave Winfield kind of gets glossed over, and he was an excellent dude. I love when he was with the Twins as well.
Yeah, I mean, Dave Winfield, I completely agree. That's a guy we skip over. Gorilla Bear and Old Dad 34 will not skip over voting for President Foreman if he puts his name in the ring.
It's easy. Everybody else will do all the hard stuff. I'm just I'm the holiday president. That's all. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I go down and the greatest economy might be bad and everything. We might go to like 4 wars, but we don't have to days off.
Hey, you do talk a lot on the show about game day being get ready for war.
Oh,
so it fits.
Yeah. Come on, come on, man. So we need all hands on deck. But I think
you've heard of foreign policy. Get ready for Foreman policy.
Yeah. I would. It would be as needed, right? And we'd have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, Jay, it is opening day for baseball, and opening day for any sport is spectacular. It's a scene, whether it's baseball, football, basketball. Take us through the mindset of a professional athlete when you go through your preseason camp, whatever it is, and you finally get to game day. How important is it to manage the emotions of the moment, not get caught up in it, but also still be able to recognize that, hey, we put in all the hard work. We're here, the season's going, and still getting an emotional boost from it.
Yeah, I mean, look, you train all off season. I mean, essentially your next season starts when the last one ends. And then obviously as you go through the process, you get closer and closer, you get excited, you get a little nervous because number one, I'm sure baseball players are definitely creatures of habit. I'm sure they have their game day routines. And you want to make sure that it's the same one that you feel comfortable with, that you had success with. And then you want to go out there and just play. I mean, sometimes you can get a little bit, over your skis a little bit and try to press too hard. But luckily for baseball players, you got 162 games. But I do believe this, just like in football, basketball, or any sport, and especially baseball, and we see my Orioles are up 2-0 on those Blue Jays, is that you want to start fast. And I always feel like this. I want to get off early in the season to have 4 or 5 good games in my back pocket, just in case I have we're playing the Colts or something. I know I was like, all right, I'm in some trouble. So that's what I think that a lot of guys want to do. Look, the faster you start, and then you can kind of always leave time for adjustment. I think it's all about building confidence, but the confidence truly comes from the work you put in the spring training, then even before that in the offseason.
Your Orioles have a 2-run home run, 430-footer from catcher Adley Rutschman. Good start for him. I will always be grateful to Adley Rutschman for watching a 3-1 pitch right down the heart of the plate in last year's ALDS. He did in the wild card series. He did a great thing. Thunder Not Collins says he nominates himself as the Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, I think.
But here's the other thing, though. He says the Foreman-Orman administration. So I guess am I okay at VP?
Yeah, you're good with that. And then we know Thunder Not Collins. He definitely is the Secretary of Defense, and then we just want to make sure we get the reports right. Don't mess. We want them on time. We want them 5 minutes or less, 6 minutes or less, because I like even numbers. Don't waste our time.
Head coach has to get to all these position meetings.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on.
Yeah, who we got to bomb? Who trying to bomb us? You got it fixed. All right, see you later.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
see you next time.
Yeah, good night. God bless. Right.
Any of your teammates go into politics after they're done playing?
Yeah, Jay Remisma is a politician up in Michigan. I know that for a fact.
Okay.
He's a little bit older, but he played with him in Buffalo.
What position is he in your cabinet?
Jay's a good dude. He was a guy that kind of, well, at least back in the day, he would go across party lines. He was, he was, even though he played at Michigan.
Yeah.
And
so you probably want him in some sort of highbrow, shake hands, kiss babies position.
I don't know, man. Jay, you gotta have a watchdog on him. But he went to Michigan. You can't trust nobody from Michigan. I don't know if anybody else went into politics truly, but there was a lady. I think she just passed away. So, well, Sylvester, he just passed away, man. He was the mayor. He in Houston. He just passed. He would be around all the time. Actually, me and him got our haircut at the same spot, and he would. I think it's
Sylvester Turner.
Sylvester Turner. He would be around if we had 8 home games, 2 preseason, so that's 10. I mean, I'd see him all the time, and definitely on a more than friendly basis. And Sheila Jackson, she tried to get me into politics. I said, listen,
just a little too early.
No, I said, listen, all right, this Jay Foreman right here, this one that you see right now might be sellable. They do some digging. In Austin, it might be, it's just like, oh yeah. What do they say? You just gracefully bow out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the good thing about it, they just pay you to leave. So so they were around. Like I always talk about. Both the W and George Bush Sr. were around all the time, and I would say one of the best things. And I don't get into politics, but I will tell you this: one of the most enlightening conversations for experiences I ever had was hanging out with George W. It changed my whole, obviously, perception and assumption of him. And, he kind of just kept it real and stuff. And I, obviously grew up military family, and grandma worked, down in D.C. and stuff. But, it was good, just because obviously, the things he had to deal with and do. But then him, when we played in the Houston Texans charity golf tournament, afterwards, I mean, he was putting them back, and so.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So
big W for W.
Yeah. But he was kicking it. He was guarding the keg and everything. So. He's a homeboy, so it's all good.
Cole Reagan strikes out big Christmas. Jackenzie Noel and the Royals are out of the first inning of 2025 unscathed. Little sketchy, loaded the bases on a couple of little doinks, and I think a walk was in there as well. But Cole Reagan's Royals ace escapes. It's a 2-1 Yankees over the Brewers right now. Jay, you see things in sports that you never see before, right? Every year, something new happens. This Yankees Brewers game, one of the first ones of the day, has some major history going on. Let me see if I can find the tweets here, just to make sure I get this right. I know that one of them was Austin Wells. He's doing the catching for the Yankees. The New York Yankees, who have played over 18,000 Major League Baseball games, have never before today had a catcher that leadoff for them. Not even once. But today it happened, and not only did Austin Wells become the first Yankees catcher to ever hit leadoff, he had a home run his first at bat.
Well, that's the trivia question right there. You just got to wait 6 months. Wait till they get in the playoffs and then do the trivia question.
Here's the other funny part. That home run would have been a home run at one stadium, Yankee Stadium in the short porch.
Well, but when he tells the story, it's at a home run in every stadium besides one. That's right. How I will tell you, man, one of my favorite, well, I'm a big Pedro Martinez fan.
Nice.
I liked him. But who I really like, though, as a pitcher?
Who's your boy?
Johnny Cueto.
Johnny Cueto, yes.
But he give you the shimmy.
Oh yeah.
And then he breeds horses.
Yeah.
I started following him on like social media and stuff. And he definitely was not worried about being the same weight and trimming down and getting leaned up. He was eating good because he would post this. I mean, he would be feeding the whole. I think people that work for him and stuff. So it's and then Tony Womack's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
And they are unique breeds, and I had in Houston, Jose Lima. It was
Lima time.
Yeah, he was still and he
iconic.
And I used to run into him sometime up in Minneapolis and stuff. Like Junior Spivey's a good friend of mine. So you just they're all great athletes and they're all just people, but they definitely I think are unique personalities. And here's the thing also. The Orioles just went bomb again.
Did
5-0. Just
How about that?
Yeah, send those Blue Jays back. Tyler O'Neill.
Okay, Jay, that is now the 6th straight opening day Tyler O'Neill has hit a home run on.
Yeah, he's
6 years in a row to home run the first day of the year. Did Jonathan India just do it? Nope. Got the left fielder turned around. Warning, track power.
Yeah, you might
Too
think
bad.
about the
Too bad.
walking Mr. Tyler O'Neill if you're the opening day pitcher next year.
It's so funny because last year they flashed it up his first at bat. A 241 batting average. Like, meh, whatever. Okay. But 31 home runs.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much the value of a baseball player has, how we view the value of a baseball player has changed. I mean, like 20 years ago, you're hitting 240, you're on your way out of the league.
Yeah.
But now you add 31 homers with it. Even if you're like an outfielder, they love you for it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole, they were, you see different things obviously as it's starting to come, or opening day was starting, and you have different guys that talk about hitting, right? Rafael Palmeiro says, hitting was easy. He just had to learn, he could just pick up on the pitch really, on the whatever pitch was coming. Then you have like Alex Rodriguez, and he's against launch angle, right?
Yeah.
You hear him, and then it's just little snippets. But then you talk to the new age baseball coaches, no matter where you go or hitting coach, it's all about launch angle. And so it's no different than like the NBA or college basketball. It's all about how many threes you can shoot and money ball and so forth and so on. And, the days of Tony Gwynn, hitting, 358 with 6 home runs and all that, that's not must-see TV anymore.
Well, the fact that he was like a 390 career hitter with 2 strikes
right.
is just unheard of.
Yeah.
Guy that was patient, that got into deep counts. I will push back a little bit on the A-Rod thing. I don't think he was anti-launch angle as much as he wouldn't use those words. Just like Ted Williams wrote a whole book about this
Yeah, I
stuff.
wouldn't say he was anti. You're right about that. He was just saying everybody's talking about launch angle, and then he explained it. You essentially just got to put the, like more of a covering. I call it covering the baseball. Covering the plate, covering the baseball. Now, when you have, here's the thing. I'm not an A-Rod fan. I think he's a chump. But he owns the part of the Timberwolves. More importantly,
so you're a fan of A-Rod's money?
No, I'm gonna say this. The middle A-Rod when he was with the Rangers and then
the Mariners, then the Rangers.
I liked him then.
Okay.
With Mariners, Rangers at the beginning, and then when he kind of tapped out, and then I think he go into the Yankees. Then he couldn't. Then he was like the two. He was a guy like from Major League that would never run out. Third baseman.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
ironic.
Yeah. The great thing about A-Rod, he's a hurricane.
True.
So somewhere he lost that Miami swag. But I think they say he does a lot of great things up there with the Timberwolves being an owner and stuff like that. But I think those guys that are so superiorly talented at their craft, they just keep it very simple. Doesn't matter who it is. And, you think about Frank Thomas and those guys where they just essentially just guide the baseball out there. You hear stories about Barry Bonds, where he had, where they talk about Bobby Cox or somebody said, don't pitch to him. And he hit 4, threw 4 pitches, 3 of them were ding dongs and he had 10 RBIs. So he didn't, people don't listen, sometimes they don't, everybody wants to try to test their mettle against the best of all time. One of the best competitive, like good on good, great on great was we went to the Astros game where we got to, take BP and all that. It was Roger Clemens and he went and he challenged Barry Bonds and walking him one time and might have struck him out and then Roger was out and stuff. So, but those were that was the 2 Brahma Bulls going at it. Balco against Balco.
Whose juice is flowing that day?
It was flowing. Roger Clemens was trying to intimidate him. Barry Bonds was not intimidated. He just struck out, walked him and stuff. But it's very rarely, when you see these greats, back when be there where you get to see them go mano a mano besides the playoffs. So that was a really good, good experience for me.
You bring up Barry Bonds. Here's another kind of wild baseball stat. Since Barry Bonds left San Francisco, the Giants have had a different left fielder to start the year every year.
And people don't give
crazy.
Him
19
credit.
Straight years.
People don't give him credit that he was a really phenomenal defensive player earlier in his career.
Stealing bases left and right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he would. People talk about what was he doing stuff. He would have made it. I think he still would have been one of the greatest of all time anyway. So, yeah, man, it's tough to replace those guys. I think sometimes especially because he was there for so long, that you think that's just norm. Those guys are they are not normal.
Anything but.
Yeah, and so it's you appreciate them a lot more than when they're gone. But that lets you know that even somebody to have some sort of sustainable success at that position, left field, which is a huge obviously position, is hard to find. I mean, good players are hard to find. Consistent and really good players.
It's not hard to find liquid assets.
I know.
Down here at 27th and Jamie Lane. It's about keeping it simple. That's what they do. They give you sports, they give you food, they give you drinks. What more do you need? Literally nothing else.
There's only one thing I need. If I start coming out here, I gotta have my own not parking spot. I just gotta have me a little plaque. Hey, you get the plaque. When you go play places, so and so was here. Yeah,
I think we made one of those for you at the ticket once at the old studio.
Yeah,
you didn't appreciate it as much as I thought you did.
I'll park right out there. I just need a little parking spot out there, and then we'll be all good.
We'll roll up.
Yeah,
you should roll up. We are here till 6. That's when the NCAA tournament will tip off in the Sweet 16. It'll be BYU and Alabama in the East, and then, of course, Duke and Arizona in the East later tonight as well. We'll keep talking some Major League Baseball. We'll talk plenty of Sweet 16, plenty of Husker football as we go. Would love to see you as you're getting off work. Filter on through down here to Liquid Assets at 27th and Jamie Lane. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We'll talk some more baseball in hour 1 of the show. The Royals made a big leap last year. 30 more wins in 2024 than they had in 2023. How do you handle the year after the leap? We'll talk about that when we get back to On the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Spring storms can unfortunately lead to power outages. While LES line workers go out in the storm, you can stay in, but you can also help by reporting your outage right away online at les.com/report.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and March Madness is here, and Koppel is ready to rock and roll. We just closed the books on a tremendous February, and we're locked and loaded for a big March. True 0% APR is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. Plus, Koppel has over 10,500 off list on other select new models. Our pre-owned truck lot is full of late model low gyms as well. So make that short drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with a roof credit, 0% is standalone.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-Week Challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off your enrollment. The next 10-week challenge begins on April 12th. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms early this morning. Otherwise, mainly sunny and warm with the high near 82. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly cloudy, low near 60. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm with the high near 83. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Spring is the time of new beginnings and trying new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For parties for St. Patrick's Day and Easter or celebrating the NCAA tournament with friends, there's no better dip to bring everyone together and celebrate something from Nebraska. Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Love is in the air, and so are big savings. It's the Big I Do event at Sartor Heyman Jewelers, South Point Pavilions, April 4th through the 6th. For 3 days only, enjoy 20% off all engagement rings and wedding bands, plus exclusive bridal collections from our top designers. Whether you're saying yes or I do, shop now for the year's best prices and selection. April 4th through 6th, Sartor Heyman Jewelers, South Point Pavilions.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We are down here at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill on 27th and Jamie Lane. If you're looking for it in the sports world, they got it. They have 32 sports-only TVs. Also 5 Kino TVs, but we're more focused on the 32 sports TVs. We got all sorts of Major League Baseball on right now. Of course, there'll be basketball on later tonight. And some golf, too. The Houston Open will be on tomorrow and this weekend as well. Trivia Tuesdays here at Liquid Assets. They're open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday through Sunday. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you. Jay, since we are at Lincoln's home for the Royals here on 93.7 The Ticket, do you want to talk a little bit about the Royals, but really just to get your thoughts on kind of a bigger picture discussion? 2 years ago, the Kansas City Royals went a dismal 56-106. Very bad. One of the worst seasons in franchise history. Anytime you lose 100 games, it's a problem. But, I mean, fewer than 60 wins is obviously not very good. But then last year, Jay, they go from 56-106 to 86 wins and 76 losses, a playoff appearance. They beat Baltimore in the wild card round, fall in 4 games to the Yankees in the divisional round. That was fun. It was a fun story. It was a fun ride for me as a Royals fan last year, plenty of other Royals fans as well. But now you get to this year, the prove it year, to prove last year isn't the fluke. What's it like being on a team that maybe, was a step ahead of where people expected, right? They didn't expect the Royals to lose 100 games back-to-back years, but a 30-win improvement is historic. Right. When you're on a team that's taken that next step, that's made that leap, what's most important in making sure things don't slide back the other direction 2 years after the really bad year?
Well, I think when you go and improve by 30 games, I think that's a little bit easier than, what they're dealing with right now, because there's no expectations. It's essentially you're just cleaning up the bigger things. That's how probably, sometimes you can do it with it like effort, attention to detail, and those are things you can control. And then so now you're dealing with expectations, and that's with emotions that are involved. So now the fan base is excited, players are obviously excited, but then also you're sometimes can relive what you did last year and try to bring it in the present day. And so what they have to do is just remember what it was like years ago, but more importantly, what they did to a higher rate to have that 30 game improvement. And then obviously there's some pressure on management to bring in better players. Players need to get better. And then obviously you got to make sure that you you have to make sure that you bond at a higher level so you can, in the middle of the season, push through and pick up some games that you always like having them in your back pocket. Win a series when, that you might not think you were going to win. And here's my example. Say you're in like the dog days of the season, right? Dog days of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have the discipline? Or do you think, we got next series to maybe string out a couple at bats to pull out and gut out a game, and that's what will lead to them to be successful in this proving.
And that's probably more of a temptation in baseball and basketball, right? I mean, in football, you've talked about it. Every time you get to play a game, you had 16 of them. They have 17 of them now, or 12 in college. You don't really have the chance to say, we'll get it next week because you have so many fewer weeks. But in baseball, that's what makes, I think, June, July, even early parts of August so difficult sometimes for baseball is, we're getting to the All-Star break, or we just had it. We're not up to our best, but we'll get them next week. You can't afford that because, look at the Royals last year, make it in the playoffs by a game.
Yeah.
Any one of these games that they won, they were down like 8 runs against the Mariners. They came back to win. It makes the difference. Or even early in the year, if they would have banked some more of those games against Baltimore last year, they give up like a grand slam in the 8th inning to lose at a walk-off home run and another one. There's 2 games against a team that won 100 games the year before that you think you steal and you're in better shape. But then the other part of this then, Jay, is the Royals didn't make that many moves, that many additions, right? They did to go from 56 wins to 86. The biggest moves for the Royals this offseason were they got Jonathan India, who we talked about, traded away Brady Singer for him. So there's a new third baseman for you. And they added another arm to the back of the bullpen that you definitely won't see every day in Carlos Estevez. On the one hand, continuity is great. You learn together, you grow together, you went through a lot of the bad stuff together. But I always refer back to the example of North Carolina in men's basketball.
Yeah.
Starting the year number 1, they bring everyone back from the team that made that surprise run to the national championship game. And then the next year, they become the first number 1 preseason team to miss the tournament. There's a very fine balance there between continuity, but then making sure that those guys that have that relationship are still being pushed and are pushing each other.
Yeah, it's that thing, revisionist history or whatever you want to call it, and keep going back to what you did last year, and you can lie to yourself. And in baseball, I guess, you could lose a couple series, and then next thing you're really spiraling, in the middle of the season, and it's going to hard to dig yourself, out of a hole. And that's why I love the mindset of starting fast, not only as a player, a pitcher, but then obviously as a team, more importantly, because it's a long baseball season. You train all year for it, and then you want to make sure your team, at least, especially when you're a team like Kansas City, that are fighting some things as far as being a little bit smaller market, probably a little bit tighter with the purse strings. That you're not going to be able to be in the playoffs or in the hunt every year. Look, I see the Orioles, they're up 6-0. You got to think how bad they were for so long. They were and they have baseball thirsty fans. Baltimore is a great sports city. They love the Orioles.
What is Baltimore's first sport?
It's the Ravens. It's football.
How much of that is due to the Colts up and leaving Baltimore?
Well, yeah, because it's the takeaway thing.
Right.
Yeah, but I think it's the Ravens. Yeah.
Some of those 80s Orioles teams, though, man.
Oh, I know. I think
DP talks about them all the time.
Yeah, I think it shifted, and plus, the Colts were gone, and it was more of Washington, and so it was a perfect time for Baltimore to be a baseball city, and I think the DMV in general really, really support both, the Orioles and the Nationals.
Is Baltimore versus DC an underrated rivalry, or do we talk about it enough?
We don't talk about it enough. It's serious, especially in the preseason game. They play every year.
Year.
Oh, yeah, it's for real.
Is that the one that Baltimore's like, we have to win this one?
Yeah, and you've seen what happened when Haloti Ngata got hold of RG3.
That's right.
Yeah, his career wasn't ever the same afterwards. So
does Baltimore have like little brother syndrome with DC, or how does what's that dynamic?
It's like San Francisco and Oakland. It's like Michigan State. They look at Baltimore looks at they're a more grimy city. They are, and that's factual.
Well,
the players or the teams embody that, and same thing with Washington, the Commanders, and what it used to be the Redskins. So it's for real. It's for real.
Better rivalry, Baltimore and DC, or Houston and Dallas?
Ooh, that's tough. I'll go. Since Houston hasn't been around long enough, I'll go Baltimore, DC, but it's close. It's different too. Houston's more of a blue collar city. Dallas is more wine and cheese, uppity and stuff like that. So you get it's Texas A&M is a lot of alums in Houston, and then it's in Dallas.
But they're kind of uppity though,
No, they're not. They're
kind of that's the vibe they give off. Okay.
There is a section.
Okay.
But the ones in Houston,
the real A&M fans are.
They get after it a little bit. They push the envelope. Enron was there.
True.
Yeah. So there's no line that they won't cross.
Not a single one.
Yeah.
This is going to be something to monitor. There's some more rumors that if Florida gets the job done against Maryland tonight, Kevin Willard is going to dip from Maryland
to
go to Villanova. Yeah. Rumor has it his replacement could be a guy that Maryland went after a few times already. Didn't get Buzz Williams from A&M.
Man, what? But you know what? That'd be a great job. Buzz Williams, I think, really recruits that area really good. Obviously,
he loves the DMV.
Loves the DMV.
Former Virginia Tech guy.
Yeah, and I don't know if Texas A&M will ever, especially with the revenue sharing, will ever be about like baseball's higher than that.
Their baseball team's real bad right now. It's really weird for all the money they put into it, but you're right.
Yeah, obviously the coach leaving, going back to Texas, but I just think that it's not a high priority, I might be wrong, but I could definitely see him taking it. Buzz is for real.
Oh, yeah, I'm a Buzz Williams fan.
Yeah. I can see him taking it, and I think Willard's gone.
Dude, that is such a weird situation.
Well, his AD left to go to – he said that we're lock and step. The next day he went to SMU.
No, because they weren't. They were butting heads because Willard was always asking him for money. It was Loxley that was tight with the AD.
Right, but he came out with a statement. He said, "All right, we have the same vision." Deuces. Yeah, it was the same vision. Are you leaving? And he went to SMU, and then Willard said, he said it's hard to negotiate a new contract under these circumstances. That lets you know he's gone. And then he didn't address it when they just must have asked him.
I meant to get that clipped. We don't have it, but the question was something to the effect of, Mike Loxley said the stuff is better handled behind closed doors, but here you are, airing it out in public. What's your rationale for that? Well, to be honest, the more I look at it, I think we just got to shut down Clayton. That's what he went into.
Yeah.
Did not answer the question. It was the most perfect, just turn the tables deflection. And to be completely honest, maybe I have the wrong interpretation of the Villanova job. Willard's fine. I thought Villanova could do better.
Yeah. That's a unique fit place.
Yeah.
I mean, you're replacing a legend and Jay Wright.
Well, you're replacing Kyle Neptune.
Yeah,
who's not a legend, but
Jay Wright, the aura
yes,
of Jay Wright
is still there.
That's what I mean. You have a legendary coach. I guess misspoke in recent history.
Yeah.
And obviously the present coach or who was the present coach wasn't very good. So then it goes back to Jay Wright.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think anybody that's coming in there is being compared to Jay Wright. They're not being compared to any coach that failed. So that's what I mean. He's still, he's still there, still heavily involved.
Yeah.
Those championships are very, heck, they were just showing the last second shot against North Carolina when Jordan tipped his hat to it. But I think, being a, it's a private school in the Big East. I think it's a unique fit, but I think it's more of an appealing job on a bigger scale, because now with the whole revenue sharing, they don't have they have a football team, but majority of the money is going to go to the basketball team. Well, now you can go and recruit and pay. Now you can get, because it used to be they had to go get guys underneath the radar, develop them for a couple of years, and they end up being lottery picks and being great players, right? But now you can go and throw your hat in there because it's a basketball school, it's a great environment, and you can get paid real well.
Jay Foreman, Austin Norman with you. Don't forget, we are down at Liquid Assets down on 27th and Jamie Lane in South Lincoln, between Pine Lake and Yankee Hill here on 27th Street. Great time. I can see everything going on right now. All the baseball action. Looks like Kyle Isbell is going to motor into second base with a one-out double for Kansas City in the bottom of the third. Shout out Kansas City center fielder Kyle Isbell. That's the Royals' first runner in scoring position of the season. And I believe that should just about flip the lineup over for India, Witt, and Pasquantino at the top. Oh, just off the glove of left fielder Stephen Kwan. When we get back, we'll keep the conversation going here. Up to talk to some people from Liquid Assets as we move throughout the show. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, we'll be right back to On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Water heater gone? Call Bryant. The price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. And in most cases, same-day replacement. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Whether it's neck pain, shoulder pain, or lower back pain, Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic's team specializes in treatments such as dry needling, cupping therapy, and traditional adjustments. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today, 402-484-5166. Visit them online at lincolnfamilychiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and 8th Street in Lincoln.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utility's direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
I'm Chief Dave Engler. When a fire truck hits a pothole with 12 tons of fast-moving equipment and crew, it's a problem. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue Lincoln's quarter-cent sales tax for street improvements. A vote against eliminates the street funding. A vote for will not raise your taxes and keeps the funding in place. And better roads means faster response times. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com.
We use our Lincoln streets every day, and so do first responders. But visitors and out-of-town commuters also do. A quarter-cent sales tax for streets passed by voters in 2019 makes those commuters pay about $6 million a year to improve streets. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue it. A vote against means no more funds from commuters. A vote for will not raise your taxes, and commuters still pay. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com. Paid for by the City of Lincoln.
Fleet Feet Lincoln is excited for the upcoming spring season and the warmer temps, and they want you to get outside and be active. Fleet Feet's Fit ID process takes a free 3D image of your feet to help runners and walkers alike find comfortable tennis shoes and inserts that ease pain associated with plantar fasciitis, bunions, and more. Get back on your feet this spring with a trip to Fleet Feet, open 7 days a week at 77th and Pioneers.
It takes hard work to make Nebraska the right place to raise a family, build a business, or grow a community. We're counting on working parents to make it happen, and they're counting on childcare professionals to have their backs. Employers and other contributors can earn up to a $100,000 tax credit for strengthening childcare in our communities and state. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Bobby Witt Jr.'s quest to claim an MVP is back in full swing after a questionable strikeout on a questionable call his first at bat. Bobby, it's an infield single, just stole second base. So runners on second and third, 2 away. Vinny Pasquantino at the plate. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you here at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill, 27th and Jamie Lane. We're talking about the Royals. There is all sorts of baseball on the TV, and that baseball is all sorts of out of here. Vinny Pasquantino gets the Royals on the board. That is a 3-run homer for the Pasquatch in his return to the lineup after a strained hamstring last week in the end of spring training. So Vinny Pasquantino comes through with a 2-on and 2 outs. Royals lead at 3-0 in the bottom of the third. You want to watch your favorite team? Liquid Assets is absolutely the place to do that. They do have the MLB TV package for all 30 teams. The ownership here is fantastic. I had a great conversation with them before the show. You want to watch your team play? The only place that you can do that here in Lincoln, the MLB TV package, the people nice enough to change the channel for you here at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill. Jay, I had this question in real life, not just on the radio, but with the transfer portal, right? That's going on. A little bit about this with Tom Izzo's comments in a little bit. but so many players now are entering the portal with a do not contact tag.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people, that implies, oh, they already know where they're going. You know, like there's tampering. They've been talked to throughout the year. Do you think that's the case? Or is it your understanding, like it is mine, that the do not contact tag means, hey, even if my phone number's in there, I don't want to hear from you. Go through my agent.
I think it means a little bit of both. I mean, I think ideally, if I was going to, I'm not a big, jump in the portal, guy, but if you jump in the portal, my advice is know where you're going or have an idea of a couple places that you're going to go and the situation and the business, end is taken care of now. I think these kids are getting a little bit more savvy now in the explosion of agents and stuff. And so they got to have people, that they can, refer because the business side is going to dictate where they go more than, the playing opportunity. Cause that's obviously the money will obviously allow for the opportunity. So I think it's a little bit of both. And, whether it's DeFreeze or, when his son, jumped in the portal, where he was going.
Sturts that followed McCollum.
Right. And then the kid that from Iowa, Freeman, that just went to Creighton, they kind of know where they're going before. And, getting upset about tampering anymore is probably, just a waste of your time. And so there's tampering on both ends. There's tampering with coaches getting hired by other places. There's tampering with players, talking to coach. And that's just, the way, college football is. And it's everybody's on a 1 year, pretty much like 6-month contract. You see guys that go places in the portal and be back in the portal after spring ball. So
you're not supposed to tell people it's a waste of time. That takes them away from us. We tell them not to worry about it. They're not going to come to us for advice and info.
Yeah, well, they're still going to worry about it. But I was just saying, if I was in the moment, if I was an administrator or like a coach or something like that, you just got to. The best thing you could do is coach the guys that want to be there and coach them, as hard as you can for however long they're there.
Couple things here from our text line before we go to break. Bo Lever wants to know, Jay, will you raise taxes or lower taxes as president?
Lower.
Lower. Always.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure. And then 7943 is how do you go about hiring an agent, finding an agent, and how does paying an agent work once you find one?
Well, the one thing about these agents, they're going to make sure they get paid first. they do the deal. The check is going, one check is going to them, the other check is going to you, and they're going to, however you do it monthly or you just one lump sum. An agent, they probably, know what players are good. There's a lot of word of mouth, that's the best way to do it. That's why you have to do your job as an agent and or do a good job and service them. And then, then it spreads. And so, it's trickling down now. Like if, high school kids, you better have an agent. Now they know that now they're saying that you can pay them some sort of NIL before they get there, which, you got to make sure, you got the money and all that stuff taken care of before you, go to play football or any sport.
And that was kind of already the case here in Nebraska, right? Malachi Coleman, his Fly Like Kai Foundation, he didn't get the money. It went to a nonprofit, but that's at least been on the table. So I'm curious to see too, Jay, what happens with the agents, how many of them keep getting approved each year, or if there become, a couple dozen that are the most trusted ones. Because we know the big name agents in all these sports, right? Your Drew Rosenhauses, your Scott Boris's, your Clutch Sports, whatever. And on the one hand, I think, I'd like you to speak to this before we go to break too. Like having a big firm like that, they're going to know what they're doing, but also it's probably pretty easy to get caught up in the wash, right?
Yeah.
Be just another player.
Yeah. You want that. You want, what these kids need to understand is the agent works for them anytime. And, I think now, I don't think there's any regulation. I don't think they have to be certified. I don't really know for sure. So, I could be somebody's agent. Saying this dude over here, Farley, could be somebody's agent. I don't know what percentage he'd want to pay for him, but
would you want Farley as your agent?
Yeah, he's a pretty honorable dude. I know he try to get his pay, but I think the worst thing you can do is have a weird view of yourself because say, Tom Condon was very prevalent when I was coming out. So even though he had Peyton Manning and all those guys, Jay Foreman's not that. So how, he has to service me and the things he has to talk about. Your phone's ringing about Peyton Manning, not, you got to ring somebody else's phone about Jay Foreman. So you want to make sure you get the best guy, kind of take you through the, the ups and downs, but then also do what's best for you, based on what your wants are.
Well, President Foreman's going to need some Secret Service agents more so than negotiating agents.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We have a good time.
Can't wait.
Oh, Friday would be great.
Foreman 2028 or Foreman 2032? Well, or you can wait till 44, 56.
No.
Right,
I
we
don't
can
know.
do that.
No, I'll be broke
can
down.
wait.
We already had one broke down president. I ain't gonna be the next. You gotta get me in the next 8 years. Period. Maybe next 8 months.
Well, let's plan on a run for 32.
All right.
How about that?
But if it takes off, it's 28. Maybe I should just start being, was the mayor around here?
Why not? You start at city council, work your way up to mayor.
Councilman? Yeah, councilman foreman.
Then you run for governor.
Hey, listen, I've been watching Eric Mays. You know
Yeah.
Eric Mays?
Okay, I know the name, yeah.
Boy, I would turn it up in there. I wouldn't even get through a full term. They're like, yeah, we got to get him out of here. Yeah.
He's too much.
Yeah.
We signed up for.
Yeah, we got to plant something in his car. We got to get this dude out of here. The point of order. That's what point of order.
We got to get out of here. We got to get to hour 2 of On the Block. We'll turn our attention to some basketball. Sweet 16 tips off tonight. They'll have all the action down here at Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill. We'll go through each region, make our picks, talk about some of the most important players. And then Michigan State coach Tom Izzo had some really interesting comments on the transfer portal. We'll get to that coming up at 4:30. Don't forget, you can be a part of the show, 402-464-5685. Or, of course, come down live and in person. Liquid Assets, 27th and Jamie Lane. We would love to interact with you down here at the spot. He's Jay. I'm Austin. More On the Block momentarily.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orbit, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Whether it's neck pain, shoulder pain, or lower back pain, Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic's team specializes in treatments such as dry needling, cupping therapy, and traditional adjustments. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today, 402-484-5166. Visit them online at lincolnfamilychiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and 8th Street in Lincoln.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and March Madness is here, and Koppel is ready to rock and roll. We just closed the books on a tremendous February, and we're locked and loaded for a big March. True 0% APR is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. Koppel also has over 10,500 off list on new select models. So please stop on by and see what confident driving and confident buying is all about. We're right down 144th Street or online at koppelcars.com. All deals with the roof credit, 0% is standalone.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms early this morning. Otherwise, mainly sunny and warm with a high near 82. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly cloudy, a low near 60. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm with a high near 83. A meteorologist Kyle Bucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Love is in the air, and so are big savings. It's the Big I Do event at Sartor Heyman Jewelers, South Point Pavilions, April 4th through the 6th. For 3 days only, enjoy 20% off all engagement rings and wedding bands, plus exclusive bridal collections from our top designers. Whether you're saying yes or I do, shop now for the year's best prices and selection. April 4th through 6th, Sartor Heyman Jewelers, South Point Pavilions.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get the Buffalo Wings and Rings today on 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, four-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Bryant at 402-467-1111 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-1111.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Water heater gone? Call Bryant. The price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. And in most cases, same-day replacement. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome in hour 2 of On the Block, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Special ingredient butcher shop with every type of meat and every type of cut. They've got 3 Lincoln locations and 1 up in Omaha. Make sure you check them out if you want to do your own grilling. If you don't want to cook for yourself, let the staff here at Liquid Assets do it for you. They have an expansive menu, some incredible puns on their menu. I'm excited to hear more about that as we get through the next couple hours here at Liquid Assets. We'd love to have you down, watch some Major League Baseball. Again, you name your team, they'll put your game on for you, as well as the NCAA tournament tonight. They'll have golf on over the weekend, all sorts of fun stuff. I'm Austin Norman. To my right, Husker Hall of Famer, NFL vet Jay Foreman with me. Jay, let's talk some NCAA basketball. We'll have the East and the West in the Sweet 16 tonight. Let's start in the West. We already mentioned Kevin Willard, right, with Maryland going up against the number 1 seed Florida at about 6:40 tonight. That should be a fun game. Derek Queen just signed a deal with Dairy Queen in NIL, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know why, but I really like this Maryland team, and I picked them to make the Final Four. Yeah. Maybe I spent too much time with you, and I got convinced by some Maryland propaganda. But this is Kevin Willard's first career appearance in the Sweet 16. Same for Todd Golden, head coach of Florida, who had never won a tournament game before coming to Florida. I think if you look up and down the board, Florida, you would probably give the edge to in talent. But we know coaching sometimes matters just as much in March. And here you have two coaches who are on the stage for the first time.
Yeah, I think, initially, I thought when Maryland played Nebraska, I thought they'd be dangerous just because they're starting five. I don't think they have any holes, as far as they could shoot it well enough. They can get downhill. They play pretty good defense, and they're physical and they're big. But I think I'm gonna lean towards Florida, and it's only because of the drama with the head coach. I just wonder. I wonder these type of things, and you look at West Virginia, and yes, they were upset that they didn't get in. But I know one dude that wasn't upset that they didn't get in. That's the head coach. So you go to Indiana, probably already closed on his house. So I think the same thing along the same lines with Maryland's head coach. All reports are that he's essentially gone already. He's obviously had to have some sort of conversations. So I think that takes away from preparation. But I think Florida also has more depth, and then obviously, maybe a little bit better guard play, and they have some timely inside guys. So I think Florida will be able to overwhelm them with their just, multiple lineups, but then obviously players. But I think if it was like even Steven, no head coaching drama, I like Maryland. So I'm going to lean to Florida only because of the news that came out of their camp.
It's interesting because if you would have told me before the year that Maryland and Florida met up with coaching drama in the Sweet 16, I would have told you it was Florida. Before the year, Golden was accused of some sexual impropriety by some students there on campus. The student newspaper reported it. Turns out that was false. So, or at least not serious enough to pursue anything. These two programs have gone a couple different directions, right? I mean, Florida took a big step up. They lost in the first round to Colorado last year in a barn burner of a game. And Maryland, Jay, has just kind of been sitting there fine, right? They didn't capitalize on those really good teams they had when they first joined the Big Ten, didn't make a deep run to it. Really, anything past the Sweet 16, if I recall. And now here they are in the Sweet 16. The other game out west is Arkansas versus Texas Tech. I think this is right where Texas Tech wants to be. That's a really good, really solid program that's flying super under the radar. I mean, we've talked a lot about Kevin Willard. Florida's the one seed people love. Arkansas has the John Calipari factor. I think Texas Tech is a really dangerous team in this region because they're where they want to be with no one talking about them.
Yeah, they're way under the radar, and they've had some adversity over the last couple of years. Obviously, coaching changes, so forth and so on. And they're sneaky talented, and they come from a basketball conference. But I do think Arkansas is playing well at the right time. Now, was that their best game against St. John's? Like their best showing. Sometimes with Calipari, you get to the Sweet 16, they lay an egg. I'm going to take Texas Tech because they've been more consistent. And I think they have a little bit more, stronger foundation that's built through over the last couple of years. So I'm going to go with Texas Tech. But I think that's going to I think that could be a better game than the Florida-Maryland game.
Interesting. I almost go the other way where I definitely take Texas Tech, but I think the Florida-Maryland game is going to be fun. One of the big questions for Arkansas is the availability of Adu Thiero, who's been one of their best players. And, Jay, this is always fascinating to see how different coaches handle this, and this will help lead us into the East region as well. Adu Thiero has missed some extended time for Arkansas, leading scorer, perimeter defender type of guy. John Calipari said that his status is iffy, is how he described it. He said if we had 8 to 10 minutes from him in case of foul trouble, it would help, but we think we're fine. On the one hand, it's hard for you to say you want to go into a Sweet 16 game without your best player.
Right.
But on the other hand, and maybe you have some chemistry, maybe you built something, you learned how to play without him. If he's ready to go, you have like 25 games of evidence that proves who you are with him.
Right.
But this Sweet 16, where it's one game, one decision is win or you go home, how much are you leaning on the players, telling you how available they feel that they are? How much are you leaning on your gut versus chemistry? How do you go about judging a situation for, like this, where your best player wants to play, you're not sure if you can do it, and a lot rides on the line?
Yeah, I guess you got to just trust, the player, that he doesn't like every player is going to want to try to put himself out there, but you want to keep him out of harm's way, that he's not going to do anything to hurt the team, let alone himself. But I think when he says he's fine, I think he likes the depth of his team, and I think he's coach these players, and like he's always has, to be the best that they can be or possibly be at their peak, right now. So I would probably lean as like if he can go and give you some minutes, I think you can't pass that up because he's your best player, but you got to have a game plan for him on how much and how well he plays. If he's really feeling it and lighting up, then you got to ride it. But if he's struggling a little bit, then he's got to be more of a secondary player.
Let's go to the text line here before we shift our focus over to the East region. 1584 says, so it shows you guys cover Royals baseball. Are you really going to cover Royals baseball or not? I will tell you it will come up during On the Block. You're not gonna get away with me not talking about the Kansas City Royals. I know Jake Sorensen is certainly a big Royals fan as well. He's in the building here at Liquid Assets with us. So at the very least, On the Block, maybe a little old school and early break, we'll be talking about it. I will also let you in on a little secret. I think Corner 3 is going to shift to more of a baseball focus in the offseason. So might have something with that in the works, making sure you stay up to date with everything going on with the Kansas City Royals. Of course, we are Lincoln's home for the Royals here on 93.7 The Ticket. Excited to bring you coverage of a team that made the playoffs with a 30-game turnaround last year. Right now, they're in the top of the fifth, leading Cleveland 3-1. Jay, the East region is a fun one tonight. The two games there in the Sweet 16. Let's start with the first game, BYU and Alabama. These are two teams that are going to play very fast. By far the highest over-under for this one at 175.5 points for the over-under. Alabama, the 2 seed in the region, and BYU, the 6. How do you see this game?
I mean, I think it's going to be up and down. I think it's going to start real fast. I mean, I think there's not going to be much defense played. I think they're going to get into it. It's going to be like kind of a boxing match where they come out and they're real active. But I think, Bama has flexibility to do both. I think they have a little bit more seasoned, veterans inside. And obviously, they got some really good guard play. So I think Bama's going to win, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, have some dunks and all that stuff. But I think Bama's the better team. But if Bama comes out there and is like thinking they're going to roll the ball out there and win, I think this is a huge game for Oates, huge game for him. It's a game that they probably are more talented than BYU. They're expected and favored to win, but sometimes those are the hardest games to win when you have to win them, and you might be looking forward to who you might meet up in the grade 8. So, but I still think Bama will win though.
I tend to agree. I mean, I think this is going to be a barn burner of a game. Both these teams shoot it really well. BYU's been a top 10 team in the country by a number of metrics over the last month and a half or two. Alabama's certainly up there. I don't doubt Nate Oates, Jay, but that's why I like games like this, because on the one hand, you see coaches that want to maximize the number of possessions that they get. That's both of these schools. Then you see other schools that try to minimize the numbers of possessions, right? Like Drake did. Even Maryland doesn't necessarily play that fast. Your coaching philosophy, are you a guy that likes to slow things down and maximize every possession, or are you playing fast, trying to get as many possessions as you can? Obviously, you have like situational.
Yeah. I like to play with Bama.
For just in general, your teams that you coach, are you running, or are you trying to focus on details and execution?
Well, I like to think I do both.
Right? Well, you like to think,
yeah,
but
I like to think I do both. I don't think it's been, received as much, but I'd probably say I like to push the pace. I like continuous pressure, not sloppy basketball. I like to play fast, not in a hurry. So, I think that's where I think Bama has an advantage. They've done it. I think they just are more. I think they're just more seasoned. But BYU's no punk, man. I mean, it's all about matchups, and you're playing a team that can run and gun just as much as you. And you got a lot of expectations and obviously a lot of support, both financially and from the fan base. And so sometimes those games, and that's what I talk about, expectations versus standard. The expectations can have a team like Bama play too tight, and the expectations of BYU can have them play really, really loose, which could lead them to pulling an upset. So it's not going to be a huge upset, but if they were able to win, but I'm still going with Bama.
Even if it's just the first 4 minutes or first 6 minutes of the game, that's enough to get you beat in March.
It could, because you got to dig yourself out of the hole. It's no different than baseball. You want to start fast. I call it steady.
Yeah,
being steady. Take what you can get. Then obviously, really, really, when you get a chance to put the hammer down, you put it down.
And, of course, the nightcap is the game I'm going to have both my eyeballs glued to the TV for. But highly recommend you go down here to Liquid Assets and watch this one. It's Duke and it's Arizona in the largest spread of the night, Jay. Duke is favored by 9.5 points. This is one I'll just kind of tell you my mindset as the Duke basketball fan. It's more about your team than it is that, right? You got to focus on yourself. If you do what you do well, you're probably going to have some success. Not going to lie, for the better part of the last week or 5 days, I guess, since we've learned what the matchup was going to be, I've honestly thought more about Caleb Love. I've honestly thought more about, well, Arizona's playing a lot better since the first time that the Duke saw them down in Tucson. And this is an Arizona team that, according to Ken Pomeroy, is probably the toughest team Duke's played since about mid-January.
Yeah.
Maybe their trip to Clemson. I can talk myself into all of that. And Arizona's good, and I don't want to overlook them. And that's just kind of my natural tendency, right? I don't want to be the cocky one. I don't want to be running my mouth. I want to give the other team enough credit. But also, Duke's a blue blood. Arizona wants to be. They had their run of success. But Duke's 33-3. They've won a lot of games. I think Duke should be favored by 9.5. That's a little rich for my blood. Arizona presents problems. I just think that I've kind of forgotten this week how deep Duke is, how many different ways they can win. I've probably given too much credence to the Caleb Love factor instead of just telling myself if Duke does what they've done all year, they'll be in a good position at the end, and that's really all you can ask.
Yeah, I think Duke will win this, but they better get a hold of Caleb Love from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets off early, Duke's losing because he's the type one. Because once he gets rolling, and the thing what he does is it's the aura of him.
Yeah,
30-some.
He's a boogeyman,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that'll draw away from the basics that you've been, your defenses, your defensive assignments and coverages as well. But I think Duke will win this game. I don't think the spread is too rich. Here's why: because I think down the stretch. Free throws, execution. The one knock on Caleb Love is can he make the basic play look spectacular?
Yeah.
He likes the spectacular play, and you're not going to win down the stretch doing that unless you're hitting. So,
and that's the difference between him and RJ Davis in North Carolina, right? I mean, these are two guys that obviously shared the court together. RJ Davis will have some.
They were sharing, all right.
I didn't want to go that far, but since you did, we got there. But RJ Davis did have a better mastery of the little things, right?
Yeah.
But he's also not as big, right? Like Caleb Love, it's like 6'4", 205, pretty rocked up, super leaper, like athletic freak. Oh, and he can shoot the basketball a little bit. That's not RJ Davis. RJ Davis is like 6'1". He's like the third all-time leading scorer in the ACC. He had to focus on the little things, and that helped him get to where he was.
Yeah, and they were a great matchup together. And obviously,
until they weren't.
There's a third party decided to, dabble, I guess you call it. But yeah, I think Arizona is a form. I think they got physical in the transfer portal. They got the big power forward from Oakland. He didn't play as well as like he showed in that short little snapshot. But I think he brings a physical presence to kind of work off or opposite of Gillis. But I think Duke is just, John. I wasn't sure about Shire, but when I researched him,
White Mike.
Yeah.
You heard that?
Yeah. Southside Chicago. Yeah, looking for the heat. He's definitely bringing that out in his team. So I like him.
I'll say two other things on this game before we get here to the. Just kidding. Got to throw this out here. David from Renew says, "Oh, they were sharing." Yeah, we know, David. Are you gonna share a steak dinner with Jay anytime soon?
Negative. I got something to do next Friday.
And the Friday after that, and the Friday after that, and maybe the Thursday and Saturday after that. Two other things on this game. Number one, I'm fascinated to watch Tyrese Proctor. 19 made threes in his last 3 games, tying a Duke record. First Duke player with 5 or more threes in back-to-back NCAA tournament games since, his head coach John Shire did it back in 2010. Proctor is an X factor. Yeah. Right. He's a guy that is going to set the tone defensively for them. He's moved off the ball to let Sion James handle. Proctor stays hot. There's nothing Arizona's going to do. If Proctor's hitting, even 40% from 3, let alone the 50% he's been shooting at, that's not necessarily who he is as a player. He's grown into being a better shooter. He's due to cool off at some point. When he cools off, just how cold will he get? Can someone else be there to pick up the slack? And then, Jay, we talked about it. We thought it was going to happen last weekend. We're still waiting for the Isaiah Evans game. It hasn't happened in the NCAA tournament yet, right? It's coming.
He might be in the portal, but no, I'm just playing. I think that Arizona's best bet, you got to get Cooper Flagg in foul trouble and can't let him get off early.
How'd that work for Baylor?
Not very good. But I'm saying for Arizona, and the reason why is because the pressure's mounted up. I don't think Baylor really posed an offensive potential threat like Caleb Love and company. And I think because he can stir the pot. And also that it'd be the first time Cooper would face true adversity. I think Baylor was like, all right, I'll just be back and I'll end up finishing you guys. That's their best bet, but I think Duke is too well oiled machine. I think they're rested. It's a relatively young team with a really extraordinary young superstar in Cooper Flight. So he's kind of gotten that out of his system, dealing with it, being out there, coming back from a, somewhat of a, ankle sprain. Look for him to be aggressive tonight. I mean, I'm looking
aggressive.
for him. I'm looking at him to raise his level of game. When you've seen him in high school go right at other really good players, I look for him to establish his dominance or his force tonight.
That'll be the second to last game. It'll be BYU and Alabama at 6:10, Maryland and Florida at 6:40, then Arizona, Duke at 8:40, and Arkansas and Texas Tech at about 9:10 out there at the Chase Center. 4601 says, go Arizona, LOL. Can't stand quote-unquote Duke fans with no affiliation to the school. Yes, that's me. Yes, I own it. I'm not backing out of it. I did.
What made you a Duke fan? Christian Laettner?
How old do you think I am?
I'm just asking. Who is it? JJ Redick?
The first Duke game I ever watched was when they
Cherokee
lost
Park?
to VCU in a 6-11 game.
Cherokee Parks?
No.
Who was it?
I don't know.
What would make you possess you to like Duke?
I turned on the TV during March Madness. My favorite color was blue. Duke was playing. They lost to VCU, but I was hooked.
And who's your favorite Duke player?
Tyus Jones. He came later.
Okay, he representing Minneapolis.
I'm a big Tyus Jones fan.
He's representing Minneapolis. I got a text here.
Okay.
Mike, one of the owners, said I need to talk about that. I'm scared of him on the golf course and I'm ducking it.
Are you ducking him?
No. My mantra is any place, anytime, anywhere.
Well, then why aren't you golfing with Mike right now?
I got bad ankles.
So you got a cart.
No,
Stand up, swing, drive.
No,
Stand up, swing.
Because I'm not getting out there and losing.
But now's the perfect time. If you lose on your ankles, you can blame your ankles.
No, I'm not taking an L. Period. There is no. I'm dominating. That's the mindset.
So you just spell golf GOFF like Jared Goff?
Yeah,
no L's for Jay Foreman.
Well, I see Mike. Trust me, when he's talking about he ready for the smoke. Trust me, I don't smoke cigarettes. And I understand.
So you owe Mike a round of golf or two. You owe David a steak dinner.
Mike owes me a round of golf or two, and then his buddy Jake Sorensen over there has never taken me to Beatrice. I'm starting to think there's a reason to it. We won't say it on air, but
I think by saying you're not going to say it on air, enough is implied that we can figure out the rest.
I do owe them something. You know what I owe both of them?
What do you owe them, Jay?
A fresh one.
Fresh one?
Yeah,
okay.
when I used to get in trouble with my grandma, she was like, do you want a fresh butt whooping? Straight out the package. That's she used to tell me, you pushing yourself to the left hook. So that's what they're getting. A fresh butt kicking.
Whenever they want.
Just like Duke's going to do Arizona tonight. Even though I wouldn't mind seeing Caleb Love drop about 38 on y'all.
Are you saying you're the can man? Anyone can?
Anyone can. Anybody can get it. Farley can get it. His partner in crime, Rashawn, can get it. Dave from Renew, he gonna get it. He gonna get a steak first. I gotta get him. I can't believe they ran game on me. Jake's not getting a steak.
You just fell for the banana in the tailpipe, Jay.
Yeah.
Never again.
Never again.
The James Franklin banana in the tailpipe.
Never. I'm reading all the details. That's all right.
Cole Reagan's day is done through 5 innings. He exits the game with a 3-2 lead for his Kansas City Royals. I believe that was Angel Serpa coming in out of the bullpen. Jake Sorensen's favorite Royals relief pitcher. He wanted him DFA'd only about 17 times last year. Big Bank Hank, I would love to, except my laptop is kind of hot and I need the fan to work. So we'll keep you updated on the Royals score and plenty more as we go throughout the show. Another half an hour or so here for On the Block. Then we got an hour of old school, all live from Liquid Assets, 27th and Jamie Lane. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman. We'll be back in a minute.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through April 1st is $1 off all pasta, $2 off spaghetti sauce, and special discounts on hamburgers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney and Lincoln, or also at 168th and Maple Streets in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
I'm Chief Dave Engler. When a fire truck hits a pothole with 12 tons of fast-moving equipment and crew, it's a problem. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue Lincoln's quarter-cent sales tax for street improvements. A vote against eliminates the street funding. A vote for will not raise your taxes and keeps the funding in place. And better roads means faster response times. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com.
We use our Lincoln streets every day, and so do first responders. But visitors and out-of-town commuters also do. A quarter-cent sales tax for streets passed by voters in 2019 makes those commuters pay about $6 million a year to improve streets. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue it. A vote against means no more funds from commuters. A vote for will not raise your taxes, and commuters still pay. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com. Paid for by the City of Lincoln.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Bryant at 402-467-1111 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-1111.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, four-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
Love is in the air, and so are big savings. It's the Big I Do event at Sartor Heyman Jewelers, South Point Pavilions, April 4th through the 6th. For 3 days only, enjoy 20% off all engagement rings and wedding bands, plus exclusive bridal collections from our top designers. Whether you're saying yes or I do, shop now for the year's best prices and selection. April 4th through 6th, Sartor Heyman Jewelers, South Point Pavilions.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-Week Challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off your enrollment. The next 10-week challenge begins on April 12th. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utilities direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms early this morning. Otherwise, mainly sunny and warm with a high near 82. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly cloudy, a low near 60. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. Will be breezy and warm with a high near 83. I'm meteorologist Kyle Bucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Buffalo Wings and Rings today on 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Austin Norman, Jay Foreman back with you here from Liquid Assets. Apparently the game is broken. Jake Sorensen does want me to tell you that Angel Zerpa does need to be DFA'd now for an 18th time as he allows a go-ahead 2-run home run on his first pitch of the 2025 season. So Kansas City trails 4-3 as they head into the bottom of the 6th inning. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you here from Liquid Assets. This segment of the show, as always, brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. They're based out of Hallam, Nebraska, and they offer a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while still keeping their prices affordable. They're locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today for more info. That number is 402-430-3852. You can also visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Jay, some interesting comments from Tom Izzo, obviously the longtime legendary head coach of Michigan State men's basketball, talking about the transfer portal. His team obviously fighting for a spot in the Elite Eight and beyond this weekend here. Tom Izzo was asked about, his team, but also having to worry about the transfer portal right now, despite his team still playing it. And here's what Tom Izzo had to say. What my team's done has been incredible, and I'm not ready to move on. I'm going to worry today about the guys I got in this program that have done an incredible job this year, and that's it. And if that costs me later, so be it. But Tom Izzo isn't cheating the people he has that have been loyal to him for this chaos that's going on out there. When I came back Sunday night, that was it. There was nothing on my mind but giving these guys a chance to win one more game, get to the Elite Eight, win one more game, and have a memory that'll last their entire life. So excuse me for being passionate about it or pissed off about it, whichever words you want to use. But I'm not going to talk about the transfer portal because it's not fair. It's not fair to the people. You could say it's fair to your program. I'll run my program like I want to run my program. And if people have a disagreement with that, God bless them.
Yeah.
Your reaction to that from Tom Izzo?
I mean, I like it. I mean, as a player, say you had no intention of leaving Michigan State and worrying about that, you know that you're going to get your best effort from him, and that's what has made him successful this year. And obviously, been able to get in the Sweet 16. So I like it, man. One of the things that you learn listening to, obviously, I know you spend a lot of time, watching like TikTok and stuff about grilling stuff, but there'll be some stuff on there. Now it's not necessarily college, but it's a former college coach that was talking to a bunch of AAU coaches, and they were talking about the transfer portal. This is no different than Izzo. And he was like, if kids want to jump from one program to the next, oh well. And the reason why you have that type of is the best for him, that you won't coach him, you can no longer be loyal. Just like the players can't be loyal to coaches because we've seen, they're on the move. Because kids will leave in there, they'll have everything that they need or ever wanted, and they'll still up and leave. So, I think he's doing it the right way, and also he has a lot of job security that he doesn't have to do it both ways. And more importantly, you got to think with Dan Hurley when they did the 60. It was 30 for, or not 30 for 30 on
the 60 minutes.
60 minutes. Yeah. He's like he's two-time defending national champion. He said half of his rosters in the portal already know where they're going, and they're there. And so it's just the day and times of college sports, let alone basketball. It sucks that we saw it during football that the portal was open. I mean, there was the backup quarterback at Penn State. But if you got to go. You got to take advantage of the opportunity, especially if you need a chance to start. The guy from Penn State wasn't going to start over Drew Aller next year. He's probably going to start. I think he's at Missouri, right?
Sounds right.
Yeah, and so you can't fault him. I mean, you got to go get in where you fit in. And so, unfortunately, it's just part of doing business. But I think ultimately the guys that have that are playing that got them into the Sweet 16 will be invested, even if they're the number 7 or 8 and potentially could go into the portal. They're in a great position for them to do something magical. Hopefully they don't let the appeal of getting their back rubbed in the portal take away from that.
Fred Hoiberg was asked about it, said something very similar to Tom Izzo, right? It's about the guys that got us here. But Fred Hoiberg did appreciate the fact that they did have some time off, right? The portal opened on Monday, the 24th. So they had a little bit of this week to work on reaching out to guys, doing Zoom calls and whatnot before the team heads out to Vegas for the college basketball crown. I did see this, though, Jay, from Bart Torvik, who runs one of the stat websites I refer to a lot. And Bart Torvik says, I kind of like the portal opening after the first weekend because it's the closest thing we have to a draft lottery-style equalizer in college hoops. Oh, you can't focus on transfers because you're in the Sweet 16? So sad for you.
Yeah.
On the one hand, I am completely in the same boat of Tom Izzo and Fred Hoiberg of, hey, let's do this season at a time, not start overlapping seasons, right? Why should we have 2025-26 concerns in 24-25? You're still playing. It's only fair to the players on that team that you focus on them. You finish out the season as strong as possible. But for a sport that the people seem to want parity in, right?
Yeah.
Where you love the upsets, where you love March Madness for that reason, if that's what you're a fan of, maybe you should be a fan of the transfer portal opening early. I mean, some guys are still going to hold out for their offer from a blue blood or from a top 25 program, whatever it is. And those guys will probably never come into your school anyways. But for the guys that maybe want to try it up there, but maybe they're just in it for the best offer, or maybe they realize what level they're at and they think they can be a piece on your team instead of the piece on a different team, maybe you're okay with that. I mean, on the one hand, I do like it being fair. I think it would make a lot of sense for coaches who have a lot on their plate. Say, hey, it opens when everyone's done. Make it as level a playing field as possible. But I don't necessarily hate the idea of what Bart Torvik is saying because college basketball, college sports don't have a draft where if you're bad, you don't get the first overall pick. I'm not totally against it after reading this tweet from Bart Torvik.
No, I like keep it the way it is because the amount of staff or the amount of people that are on staff, support staff, recruiting, that's part of their job. They're all handsomely paid, right? And so I think it's you have to, as you start to get towards the last quarter of the season, you got to start checking guys' temperatures. You got to kind of really like shake the bushes to see what you hear about the guys on your roster and then not coach them and hold it against them. And then you got to go out there and see who else is available. And I like it after the first weekend because look at a team like Nebraska. Why should they have to hold their business in trying to get back to the tournament based on, a couple more weeks? You can still be in the present moment and still recruit.
Mm-hmm.
You can. You just got to be and
it takes compartmentalization. It takes due diligence.
Right. And that's just the way it is. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's the way. Unfortunately, the rules just thrown out there, and that's just part of doing business.
And you can look at it as either side has an advantage, right? The advantage that the teams that are still playing have is, hey, they're still playing. They're good programs with good coaches.
They shouldn't have a lot of guys leaving.
And they shouldn't, but like Duke is going to have at least 3 one-and-done freshmen that they have to replace. And of course, they'll bring in some more. I mean, Maryland has a lot of upperclassmen. Florida, we'll wait and see on them. But it is an advantage to still be playing. You're a good program that a lot of talented players are going to want to play for. But on the flip side of that, if you're at home, you should have more time to do some more of that late work, to be one of the first schools to reach out to a player and make contact with them. So if they're borderline, they don't know if they're going to get interest from the school still playing, you can say, hey, we were in on you first. We believe in you more than any of these other schools. We have a little bit more of a pre-existing relationship.
Right.
That's its own advantage.
It is, and Duke having ones and done going to the league is different than guys jumping in the portal after, you went from a bench warmer to averaging 6 points a game. So, I think I like it the way it is, the way it needs to be. Thank you. And then, that's the way they got to keep it. So there's advantages and disadvantages on both. Nothing's perfect. They didn't think about this when they decided to have it, essentially thrown out there or thrown up against the, in the air and, essentially like spitting in the wind. You can't complain now, and it sucks because, you have a team like Michigan State. You got potentially now if Maryland's coaches, decides to go to Villanova, where those guys go. And they could, Maryland hasn't. They were saying this could be the best Maryland team potentially in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think that some of the great players and great teams are there. So, I don't think the willingness to have continuity and then also the pride in building something there, that is gone on both ends. And so you just got to deal with it, and whoever comes to terms with it faster and adjust will have more sustainable product.
We're down here at Liquid Assets. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you. Let's take our final break of the show. When we get back, we'll have Todd, co-owner of Liquid Assets, join us, talk about the place, what he loves about it, what led to Liquid Assets and everything, the journey that they had to get here, and what you can expect down here to 27th and Jamie Lane. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, one segment to go, joined by Todd of Liquid Assets when we get back to On the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orbit, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Hey volleyball fans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utility's direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms early this morning. Otherwise, mainly sunny and warm with a high near 82. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly cloudy, low near 60. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm with a high near 83. And meteorologist Kyle Bucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-Week Challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off your enrollment. The next 10-week challenge begins on April 12th. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through April 1st is $1 off all pasta, $2 off spaghetti sauce, and special discounts on hamburgers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney and Lincoln, or also at 168th and Maple Streets in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
In the midst of adversity, some are built to run towards the chaos. That's the drive that defines a Nebraska State Trooper. Mission-focused, service-minded, always ready. If you have the drive, we'll help you build a career. Applications are now open to become a Nebraska State Trooper. Numerous career paths, unlimited potential, making a difference for the people in communities all across Nebraska. Apply today at nebraskatroopers.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back one final time to On the Block. We are brought to you by Love Volleyball Omaha here in our final segment. Get tickets today at lovboma.com. Austin Norman on one end, Jay Foreman on the other. In between us, Todd Eicher, co-owner of Liquid S Sports Bar. Todd, thanks for having us down, man.
Well, thanks for being here and joining us. Great show. So
we appreciate that. It's been a blast out here for the first couple hours. We'll have Old School coming your way from 5 to 6 down here. Todd, start off, just tell people, let them know just Liquid Assets, the story. What was the idea behind it? How long has it been in your mind, and what made it possible?
Yeah, so my business partners and I were just huge sports fans, huge sports bar fans. We spent a lot of time in and out of bars, and we've talked for years, probably 3, 4, or 5 years about what would make a really good sports bar? And what would you build into it? What would you include? And had the opportunity to see that vision come through. So, yeah.
The name Liquid Assets implies business. I saw some of your menu items. There's some business puns, which I'm a fan of. Business background?
Yeah, business background for myself, business background for Mike Ostick. And so this is a nice blend for us of our fascination with sports bars and our business background.
Is that the same mic that Jay keeps ducking in golf?
Yes, that is the same mic. That is the same mic.
I wanted to ask you, man, what's it like working with Mike? Because my man's got a ball of energy, man. He's a great dude, and I'm always happy for his success.
You know, the best way I can describe it, every day is an adventure.
Yeah.
It's just an adventure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good adventure. It's a fun ride, but it's an adventure.
Yeah, you know, the great thing, you got a ton of TVs in here. I like it.
32 of them to be exact.
And I like it. And you got 23 beers on tap, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's a good Jordan number, even though I'm a LeBron fan, but LeBron wears 23. I like it. I'm a big on like space and energy, you know, when you walk into a place. And I could tell you it's perfectly situated. Even I look at, like, you know, you have one TV in the corner right there, eye level. Then you have one for everybody can see it for in 3 different places. Talk about the vision in your mind, in Mike's mind, and then how it came out to perfection, it looks like.
Yeah, so the vision was, and what we really started with was we wanted to be a family-friendly sports bar and grill. And so we're leaning into that identity, family-friendly sports bar grill, and we wanted to set it up in a way that every seat in the house, you could see 4, 5, 6 TVs at one time. So if there's a game you want to see, you can see that.
Yeah.
So we added net new in here, probably about 17 TVs.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're up to 32 of sports content plus the Kino TVs.
Right.
And then we also wanted to layer in really high quality bar food.
Sure.
And we spend a lot of time in sports bars, and sometimes the food level is maybe not quite as nice. And so we wanted to layer that in where we just had a really high quality, higher end bar food.
Right. And the service is great too, which obviously, you know, obviously Mike does a really good job. So that's also a big plus too, because that's also the differentiator where, you know, going to sports bars after, you know, obviously golf or whatever.
Yep.
Service is key because sometimes you're on a time schedule. Really, really good service, and I know the food is really good. Listen, we have a guy at the station by Nick Sainert. You remember the Kicks commercial? Mikey likes it. Mikey's like, if Nick likes it, it's good. Nick came to the soft opening, and you kind of did it. You know, kind of let everybody taste the menu. He gave it a double thumbs up. So
I'm thrilled to hear that.
Yeah.
Our chef Dana, she's amazing. The staff we have here is incredible. Love the team that we have.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Look, and Nick is very particular about everything, and he will voice his opinion
on everything, asked or not, prompted or unprompted.
I don't know if they're Gen Z, Gen X, or whatever the ones that talk too much. That's Nick, but he has not stopped talking about the menu and the service out here at Liquid Assets.
And I can vouch for that. We have a buddy who lives up in Omaha who came down to Lincoln, was hanging out for the day and wanted some place to watch some March Madness. Nick offered Liquid Assets. It's my first time down here, but I would vouch for everything he had to say. There's our cue. We're going to get out of here, but we're not getting out of here. We are still down here at Liquid Assets for another hour for Old School. Todd Eicher, co-owner of Liquid Assets. Thanks, Ten, for coming on. Thanks for having us down. Yeah. Best of luck with everything in the future. I'm sure we will be back. I know I will be. I'll make the drive from across town. It's going to be worth it. Thanks a ton, Todd.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you having us. And also, next time I'll give you a hug, man. You know, with Mike, man, you know, he can run you a little thin, right?
Right,
yeah.
right, yes. Exactly.
Jay Foreman, Todd Eicher, Austin Orman. Thanks for listening to On the Block. Don't go anywhere. Old School comes your way from Liquid Assets live momentarily.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at the